Okay, so we're inside the water out drying trailer. It's a small 8 by 20 foot construction trailer that we finished with drywall, kitchen cabinets, hardwood floor and carpet, and an overstuffed couch. We're going to flood this room and do some readings. You can see we have our supply hose in the window. That's where the water out drying trailer will be hooked up to bring the warm, dry air inside. Start the drying process. Okay, so we're doing some initial readings before we flood the drying trailer, and we're getting 11 to 12% moisture content, which is within industry standards. Let's see down on the panels. 7.2% moisture content, excellent. And it's a beautiful day here in Jackson, New Jersey, 77 degrees and 47% relative humidity. We have the structure open to the outside. We're going to be flooding it shortly.
That's what we got in the ceilings here.
Okay, we're going to start wetting the inside of our demonstration room. We're going to soak the walls and the furniture and the carpet, and we're doing this so we can demonstrate what happens during a real water event. Pipes break from above, leak in the roof, frozen pipes. It's 11:22 on July 8th. We're going to soak this and we'll start the trailer soon. We're going to spend the next few minutes saturating the room, and then we'll do readings once everything's wet. So we've been flooding the room for several minutes. You can see our cushions are soaked. There's water coming out of the cushions. There's water dripping from the ceiling. There's water droplets on the windows. We're going to add another visual. This is a newspaper and a stack of papers that we've soaked. And we're going to hang these in the drying room to demonstrate how quickly papers and documents can be saved. It's 11:43. We're getting ready to turn on the trailer. You can see water pooled on the hardwood floors inside. We're going to have one supply coming in that will bring in the warm, dry air. That will increase the evaporation of the water inside of the building. And we have a return hose that will be pulling out all of the water that is evaporated into the atmosphere and take that back to the water out trailer. Okay. It's 5 minutes to 12 on July 8th. The conditions in the room are 70 degrees and 89% relative humidity. We're just getting ready to turn the trailer on. You can see there's water beaded on the countertops, and as well as the walls, the windows, the couch. We've added an air mover. We'll add 2 or 3 more air movers. Air movement is crucial in evaporating water from materials. Now 2 minutes to 12, and we've just turned on the water out drying trailer. I'm going to remain in here for a few minutes to keep an eye on the water droplets on the windows so you can see how quickly water evaporates using this system. One of the benefits to using water out and drying so quickly is the amount of materials that you save by drying them rather than replacing them. And should you run into a loss where some things need to be taken out, there may be a hole in the sheetrock from the water break above, the carpet may be stained in the event of a water heater break, there may need to be some refinishing done on floors, but the nice thing is once these materials are dry, you're able to get back to work, get back into your building, and it's no longer an emergency. Now we're talking about scheduled maintenance or scheduled repairs. In just a few short minutes, less than 5, it's now 12:03. We've reduced the relative humidity in the room to 64%, down 20% from 80. It's now 12:05. In just 5 minutes, we've reduced the relative humidity in the room from 86% down to 61%. This drastic drop in relative humidity will increase the rate of evaporation. It'll make this room dry faster. We've also brought the humidity down to the goal level of 60% or lower. Reducing the relative humidity in the room quickly will minimize damage caused by extended. I'm outside of the drying room. As you can see, it's hooked up to the water out trailer. The reason I'm outside is so you can hear how quiet the trailer is when it's operating. It's a great piece of equipment to put in a residential area or in a commercial park. It's a very quiet system. The newspaper that I soaked about 45 minutes ago is now dry. A stack of papers attached to it are dry, they're not dripping. Although papers and documents may not be preserved exactly the way they were when they got wet, there's some curling to the pages because of the dry air. When you're talking about saving original documents, paper with signatures, it's more important to keep the paper than to have newspapers and letters pristine when they're done drying. So as you can see, we've got the newspaper. We got to it soon enough that it didn't start to disintegrate. We didn't lose any of the ink. There was no ink running on the papers or bleeding onto the paper in front of it. The ceiling, which was reading 20% earlier, is now 15%, diving to 14%. There's still a little ways to go in the ceiling, as you can see by the yellow light, but we're very close to our goal of 12% moisture content in just 1 hour. It's now 1 o'clock, 1 hour after we started. It's 106 degrees inside of the drying room and 19% relative humidity. The air coming in from the supply is much lower, in the 2% to 3% range. The air inside of the building, and as you can see, continues to drop. It's 18%. There's no more standing water on the counters. And there's no water droplets on the windows or the walls. The condensation is off the walls. The couch, which was dripping water before, is now dry. Very few areas left to dry on the couch, and it's only been an hour. That would be a tremendous savings on furniture and materials inside of an office or a home. Now I'm going to take a look at the papers that we put in the trailer a few minutes after we started drying. As you can see, everything appears to be dry. It's not dripping anymore. That's great news. Now, because of the heat and the dry air, there was some wrinkling of the paper. But if we were looking at important documents, documents that required signatures or original papers, it would be much better to have something with a few wrinkles on it as opposed to something reduced to pulp because it sat wet too long. And as you can see, the ink did not run on the newspaper. It didn't run onto the page in front of it. We got on this nice and early in the process. It wasn't sitting wet for very long. It's incredibly important when you're drawing documents of any type, letters, magazines, books. So tremendous savings there.